Here we go. Hello everyone. Hopefully that's all come through okay and you can hear me loud and clear and unfortunately see me. But yeah, how is everyone on this fine Sunday? Man, dude, was I in trouble? Well, no, I wasn't really in trouble. I actually did forget it was Mother's Day. Thankfully, schools remember about Mother's Day, and the wife did get a card from the kids. But yeah, uh, yeah. These things like that, I forget these sort of things. Birthdays and anniversaries and Christmas. I've not forgotten Christmas yet, but the others I barely forget them. But Mother's Day, Father's Day, this day, that day, another sort of day for someone else kind of day. Let's have a grandparents' day or the child that's not born yet day. I forget about those ones. So yeah, but all's good. Anyway, tonight, guys, I was going to move on to the next section, but there's a couple of bits we want to finish off in this area here that we'll bring up in just a moment. And also I needed help from you lot, to be fair, which I'll go into in a little bit when we get to that section. So first off in this video this evening, we're going to finish flocking around. So popping some bits and bobs all round this area. And then we're going to... yes, I've done the high jump, Andy. And then we're going to move on to the dock scene or the fishing scene area, and hopefully get ideas from you how that can develop. That's the idea for today, and really a chat as well. So first of all, we'll get rid of the first chat before we move on to that, and that is I put a poll out on the community page. Here's the link to it as well. Boom, there's the link, right, to the poll. It's a vote sort of thing. I have no idea if you say yes or no. But what I'm thinking is after this project's finished, which will be June time, so we're still on this project for quite some time, might even roll over. Do you guys, especially the ones that are regular, want an hour a day on modelling to continue? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a big project like we've done here. And my ideas were kind of thinking coming back each evening at 8:30, as I am already doing, which I can do as long as I'm well, not on holiday or doing some work. So those three kind of things are the yay, nays, and as long as I'm not working, as long as I'm well, and yeah, we'll continue doing modelling. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a model railway. What I was going to think of doing is, after this project, put a vote out for the next project, and you guys can then decide, hey Tim, let's do a project and build this scale diorama or a sci-fi something or a train or a tractor or an airfix kit, and then get a vote going on, and just to continue, because I can continue them. Maybe not every single night, but we'll go like each night as it plans. Oh, sorry, I've got work tomorrow night, guys. So come back the night after. I think I'd love to keep doing that. But I want to concentrate on you guys, because there's gamers out there that stream every night, and obviously the gaming community like that sort of thing. So do you guys enjoy the modelling sort of thing? Streaming each night, an hour a day doing some modelling. And it could be a Metcalf kit, it could be any sort of kit you want. Well, not necessarily you want, but we could turn into a mini-series. I'm happy with that, and that's how I'd like to go. So check out the vote. I'll chuck the link in one more time, and please do let me know. And again, it's not a requirement. You don't need to be here. But yeah, let's move on. That was that bit out of the way. Let's move on to tonight's hellos. And Ollie, cheers for popping back to becoming a member. That's excellent. Ollie's now back onto the members, so we've gone back up to 24, and I'll put your name back on the next one. But yeah, how are we gone? Is Cameron in here? You got to find the Facebook group, Cameron, to become the members thingy. Right, let's start off with the hellos that I may have missed. Okay, and I do apologise. Do say your hellos again, because I rambled for the last 6 minutes. But anyway, okay, we have got Winston's in, David Cook, Pete Clark, Kieran, Andrew Boone, Bang Up Your Junction, Carl, Inked Rails, who's working on a passenger cart Dynsteid. That would be cool to see. Andrew Boone, Pete Clark, said Pete. Scrolling. Tim JD, how you doing? Norman Rowe is in the house. Colin Wakes is there too. David Cookmate. Stephen. Yes, Stephen, you guys have had an hour change or something like that, so he popped in an hour ago and then realised I'm not streaming until now. So you might need to change your lunch break, buddy, or if not, we'll catch you when we do. So hopefully we do see you around. Right. Scrolling down. Ewan's in from the Growler. How are you doing? Pete Clark. Did I say hello to Pete? If not, hi Pete. Let's say Pete 3, 4, 5 times. Paul, how are you? Oh, scrolling. Loads in. Jerry's in. Let's see. Wow. Right, scrolling. Everyone's saying, oh, no, Peter, Stephen is back. Right, had a problem with the Brass Pacific. Had to swap out the drive gear and break the axle. Ooh, turns out it was really soft, cheap brass. Oh, no. Hello, Rachel from Mini Worcestershire Junction. I'm almost certain I say that. Mini Worcestershire, yeah. Like, I butcher names and I really apologise that. Steve, how you doing, buddy? Okay, scrolling. Moreland Model Railway, yeah. Well, not too much of a doghouse. Rosie knows me by now. Gordon, how are you, mate? Digger Evans. God blimey, we've got a fair few in to start off with tonight. It's a Sunday, that's why. We all love Sundays. Brian, how are you? That's Brian from the Angel Share. Doobie-doobie-doo. Bang up your junks at Tim. Doobie-doo. Off, done. Digger. Right, we're scrolling. Everyone's saying hello. Timber Surfs, how you doing? Right. And then there's Ollie. Ollie is in the house. And then there is, I think that is all. Nope, Barnabas Junction. Jason, how are you? Now, I will get to what we've done so far, so please hold in there. Melvin, how are you, mate? I hope you're doing well. Doobie-doo, down, scroll down, and Ted Moggs M. Is it Ted Moggs? How are you? Right, there's a jump then, and I've lost everyone. I do apologise. Nope, Tom Couples is in as well. Excellent. I think that is everybody. Again, like I said, if I've accidentally missed your name, please do shout a hello again so I can see. Let's flip that camera over, shall we? Jerry, how are you doing? Right, we're going to flick the camera. Where is it? Here we go. Right, so we have been working on this area, as you know. Several ideas came through, sort of like making sure the pit's blacker and things like that. But there's a few bits I just want to get finished off tonight. That's sticking in more tree stumps and a bit more flocking going on. Okay, so I thought we'd do that. And then comes Tuesday, because there's no members live stream tomorrow night, guys. There'll be one next Monday. So Tuesday, we can come back and start afresh on the next one. Hello, Simon. I've just seen you pop in there. And Jerry. Good evening. I think I said hello to Jerry. Anyway, have a drink and move on. Okay, so we're going to have a wide angle view, so a bit more of a, to come out. So far, what we've done is, if I put that on there, can that see okay? No, we've got the desk. I do apologise, guys. My hands are a bit shaky. Right, we did some rock facing. Now all the rock faces are carved myself. They're not the casts. We sat there one evening, didn't we, and we cut them out. We slapped some plaster in. We painted them, and actually they've turned out really well. I had this chat with Timber Surf earlier on. that last night I wasn't convinced. I fully wasn't convinced. But this morning I woke up, put the lights back on, had a look at the area, and went, actually, that looks quite nice. So coming along the bridge itself, again, like I explained in a few videos away, the abutments, or the bents, shall I say, they're quite far apart, but they support the model, and I want to be looking through these trestles at scenes that are going on down in the lake, like a couple of gold panners and things like that. So here's the ash pit. Let's bring that down. So there's the ash pit, and obviously there is some dirt and ash, black ash in there, but there's a bit of a trail going away, because back in them times I don't think they really cared so much about environmental health, so they chucked the ash over into the water. Well, on this layout they did anyway. I wasn't really there to see. Tree stumps, they're all fitting in now, but like I said, I want to get some tree stumps down here tonight, all along this area, and obviously this horrible looking bit, I've got a plan for that. I'm going to finish off doing some, do they call this webbing or fines or something like that? We're going to drag that down here. Now that's the plan, and then we're going to discuss the fishing harbour, which is quite bland at the moment, but as you can see it kind of like blends into here. So yeah. What do you guys think? It's not overdone, I think, and the rocks have turned out okay. Now this morning I did paint in the riverbed, and I don't think I'm going to be pouring the resin until the dockyard's ready. I was thinking about putting the resin in down here, but then I thought, well, hang on a minute, no, because it will leak out onto this, and this isn't ready, and this will go blah 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 blah. Anyway, but I have painted it like a murky green. The green stuff that they gave us, this water tint green, this moss green, water tint, sorry, it was far too bright. So obviously I chucked in some burnt umber and some brown ink and just mixed it all up and made a murky, horribly kind of thing. And obviously the good old cave, which someone said I should put some rocks in. So we're going to get on with that. So yeah, let's do it. Tree stumps. We'll do them last. Tree stumps will go in last. Goldilocks says it's just right. I love that. Right, okay, so, the other thing is I've got some of these fine things, but I don't know if they look right. Are they the right? Shall we stick some of these in the river? These things are sticking up. Shall I put some of those in? Let's see what you guys think. But I think what I want to do is get the fines going now. This is something from Woodland Scenics. I can't remember. I lost the packet, but it's like a poly flocky sort of stuff. So we're going to start using that. It's been sat in the drawer for probably 30 years or something. But that's going to droop down. Oh, let's see. That's going to droop down over the mountain edge. So what we want to do is pop that up there. Is just to tether it apart, rip it apart, make it all, I don't know, like this. Just leave it dry. That can save a lot of issues, I tell you what, Tim JD, that really could, because all this work that's gone into it. Look at that, I've lots of green stuff down there. We can hoover that up, that's not a problem. Where's the little hoover? I will probably, where is the little hoover? There, right, that's right. Okay, so let's tether this all apart. Where's my other camera? Because we're meant to be recording this so that the video goes together for all those that can't make it. Silly me. I'll pop that on there. Press record. break it apart. It doesn't look right when it's all clumped together. It really needs to be fine, like so, maybe. Anyway, we'll use that for now like that, and then we will get the glue. Here we are, using the old WWS basing glue. I'm going to bring it round, and let's see if I can get the camera up so you guys can see where it's going to go. Up on here. Second camera crew fell down on the job. Second camera crew got fired. Now let's mind the mouse mat out of the way, because if that leaks, and put that rubber pot there. Alright. And then we're just going to add this over the top here and try and just tether it out a bit. More glue will get added, what have you. Get your hands all sticky and yucky and when you're sort of happy, what we're going to do is spray on some of their spray glue stuff, if the pipe's clean, that is. Yep, it is. The basing glue, advisory, layering spray, that's the one, because then that'll crust over a bit more. Get that bit of glue down there. Sorry about the elbow, guys. Down and so. Right, so it still looks a bit blur. That's what I say. If you look at the one next to it, this still looks a bit blur. So what I usually do next is get really the brown ink. I love this stuff. That's probably my go-to item. Here we go. And spray it so we darken it up, because it's quite vibrant and bright. Once that's done, oh, camera to the floor. Get ourselves some of the ground cover stuff, WWS Scenic ones, or from the forest, whichever. I've got some crushed up leaves up in the top there, but I thought I'd start using this. Put the pot underneath so that any sprinkles that do fall over, you catch them. You know, waste not, want not. There we go. And now it's starting to go less vibrant to quite a dully type of blend. Still not quite finished yet, because the last bit I add on is some very fine. This one isn't becoming so fine now. I'm starting to get the larger bit because I've been using it. Some very fine dirt. And again, we just sprinkle it over. And it just dulls it down. One more spray with the brown ink. And hey presto, we have got ourselves a nice kind of looking bushy effect. Might add a bit more just to clump it up. But yeah. Let's drop that down to there. Look at all that. Oh, camera in the water. Look at all that greenness I've got to tidy up. Okay, let's see. I found that Hoover. Let's see if I can tidy it up. Oh, Cameron, I told you to go easy on the Jack Daniels, mate. Okay, right. To be fair, guys, don't ever buy one of these. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I really have had no luck with it whatsoever. It's meant to... It's a scenic Hoover, and it's meant to suck up the flock and suck up all the stuff. But this takes forever. It really does not do a brilliant job. You're best off getting the standard Hoover and sticking a sock over it. Save yourself 15 quid or 20 quid, however much it is. I thought it was a good idea. It's not. Right, anyway. So next, yes or no, guys? This one's going to be your decision. Okay, this top corner here, just here, we're going to put some stumps in the middle, but should we have some sort of like bush up at the top, or should we leave it stumpy? So there we go, guys. Slap in the chat, bush or stumpy? The Hoover is bad. Yes, it is. That little Hoover, it really isn't worth the pennies. It doesn't really work so great. And I hate dissing things. I really do hate dissing things, but I would advise you to save your money on that thing. Anyway, bush answer. Oh, there will be some stumps obviously up here, but we're either going to leave it stumpy or put some bushy. Needs a missile launcher. Stumpy, stumpy, bush. One love giant redwood. One day that we might actually do that. Actually, you know, one of the live stream projects in the future, maybe. Let's build an O scale redwood. Stumpy, bush, bush. It needs Timbersair's canopy kit. Ah, yes. That hides his what do we call it? Big gun. Right, you know what, guys? I kind of think stumpy with ground covering, or bush, or stay. I love it. I think, right, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with stumpy with heavy ground covering of forest stuff, rather than a bush. So that's cool. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get stumpies out. Here's some I made earlier, you know, the epic tree stumps I got. And we're going to stick them in place. Where's that glue gone? Got to remember not to use so much of this stuff. It gets me terribly high. Stumpies, lots of stumpies. Everybody knows it's stumpy. And we want a couple of stumps down here. Oh, that one's got a really nice kind of like. So let's pop it in there. Stay. Right. I'm just placing them along the bottom. I'll show you where I've placed them in just a moment. Because before the bridge was in, there was a nice forest. Before the ash pit was there, there's some gorgeous tropical fish. Along came Tim and his railway, and we completely destroyed the area. that's that there. Done. We're going to put some rocks. Who mentioned it yesterday? Someone said, I think it was either Pete or Paul. It was someone with a P, I believe. We need to put some rocks in the cave. So what I did do is I popped into the garden and picked up some cool little rocks like these. Here, here, and here sort of thing. I'm going to stick those into the cave. So I'm going to move the camera back, place them where I think looks cool, and then show you them in a minute. Okay, so if we just move the camera back over here. Those stumpies, we're going to chuck some dirt underneath and some ground florists going on. I was thinking possibly maybe getting some bears. The O-scale bears. Oh dear. Right, let's get those tweezers. I'm not going to get my hand in there. Boom. I don't know if this is going to work so well. Come on, get that in there. Crash it. Ah! Let's see if I can get that one. It's down the back there, maybe. Might have done it, might not have done it. It will do. That'll do, donkey, that'll do. If we stick a bush in there. Where's me bushes? There we are. There's a bit of bush. We chuck a bit of bush in there. Kind of like hide it up a bit. Yeah, I think that'll do. I think that'll do. Right, okay, so we've got to cover up the trolls and balrogs, yes! Black or brown bears, I don't know. I can easily get the woodland scenic bears, so I think they're black bears. Right, so the ash pit, let's go for a close look. There we go, we've got a bit of black ash and whatnot in there. And obviously a trail of dirty ash down to the disposed. Right, I'm going to hoover up the green when I get the hoover, okay, because that's not meant to be down there. The cave. That looks alright. I'm happy with that. That'll do. That'll do, donkey, that'll do. The tree stumps. I think the tree stumps working well in place. The static grass isn't in a like a grassy area, it's in patchy areas. The stream itself, when we pull the resin in and then do the water, like at a later date, I think now just finish it off down here. Let's pop that down somewhere. I'm still not sure about these straw things. I don't know. I think before we pour some resin in there, we'll have a look. But I've got to get in there with a hoover so we can clear that lot up. What else was there that was going to think about putting in? American bears ride Harleys. They probably do. Okay, so let's have a bit of an outer view. All in all, I think that area is pretty sweet. I had my doubts about it before, but that's probably just because I'm just harsh on my own criticism. But after all, let's see if we can hoover that green up. I'm going to get the hoover now because that's annoying me. Dear Santa, for Christmas, can you buy me a hoover? Right, hoover going on. looks better. There goes the track. You guys are so kind to me. Right, that looks a lot better. Thankfully all the glue dried. But yeah, success. All in all, I think we'll chuck some more ground cover down in this corner. Cover up the bottom of the stumps, because obviously what we don't want is the GoPro to go round, and when the GoPro goes round you see all these, oh look, there's a floating stump. I mean that will kill the layout. But I think there's enough on there. It hasn't gone over the top. The brickwork, or the, come on, get into focus. Right there. The rock work, it was a complete different method, like you guys know, to what I usually do, and it actually turned out alright. And again, I wasn't completely convinced until this morning, when it all kind of like lit up and did okay. Now, if anyone's got any more suggestions for this area apart from water, okay, say now, because I'm going to officially declare this corner complete. Apart from the hut, but that's not until we move on to buildings. Hello pork chops, how are we doing? What did we want to throw down there? Ground cover. Tim, what have you done with your ground cover? Oh yeah, it's over here, isn't it? Dear me. Beaver. That one's a bit too big, I don't want that in there. Right. Okay, so now that I've flocked it up, here we go, we're looking a bit more dense. The woodland's a bit more dense. Obviously, there's no footpath through there or anything like that. The last time someone walked through here was when they took the last log away. Now the ash pit, I'm really happy with how that came out. The whole corner, it's actually really surprising that all in all, we did this in seven streams. So I want to say the equivalent of maybe 5 hours work, 5 or 6 hours work, because it wasn't all work, was it? It's chit chat, drinking, and modelling. Right, let's spray it all with IPA, and then last lot of scenic glue over the top. Why is that hide? I see Pete Head High Sweetabix. Why is that saying hide? That shouldn't be. That's crazy. I don't think YouTube didn't like Sweetabix or something. Right. Like I said, add the IPA, just so then we can get the scenic glue in. Oh, come on, Tim. Where's it? Oh, there it is. Give it a good old shake every time you use it, because you don't want the clumpy stuff. Now this is the standard 1 part Mod Podge, 3 parts water, and a drop or 2 of washing up liquid. Nothing too special. But it works. It works well. Well, as you've just seen, we did that scenic stuff yesterday, and I hoovered it all up today, and it's still there, so... Okay, I think we're all in place. No, we're not. Let's get that stump done. Sort your stomp out, Tim. Sort your stomp out. Okay, so let the glue drip for a bit. Put the lids back on that so we don't lose it. Let's tidy that bit up with a bit of tissue. Hello, Aaron. How are you doing from New Zealand? Right, okay, so... Oh, where's them horrible ganky tweezers? There's a bit of clogged up glue there. That can come out. We don't want that, do we? Ew. Congealed glue. Yuck. So, all in all, I'm going to give myself an 8.5 out of 10. That's me being generous for this little corner. 8.5 out of 10. Once the glue dries out, it's all good. When we come to what kind of building's going to go here? Just an old geezer with a 10 foot by 14 foot little shack. That's all it is. Nothing all special or anything. He's just going to sit there. Just here. We've got an area of, in O scale, out there, we've got 16 foot by 12 foot area. So we're going to stick in a small shack where an old man has a little campfire or something like that. Too harsh, a 10 plus. Not too good. Spent the last hour sorting my FB because the message I got. Oh dear. I hate it when that happens. Oh, it's not happened to me. I mean, I've seen it happen. It's happened to my brother once. Oh. Turn it up 10. No, we already know I'm my worst cricketer anyway. I think over time, this sort of scene can get better. But that's the joy of learning. I mean, if I keep giving this at high marks to begin with, I can't try and beat the next one. But this is, I'm happy with it. There's no lie about that. It's actually very, 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 very nice. Couple of things I've learned on this build is these logs here. When I make another retaining wall or something like this out of that, you want to notch the logs so they actually sit in on each other, because technically in the real world, if a train came over this, all those logs will just wobble out and they'll no longer be there. But it's a model and it's stuck there with glue, so we're good for now. But yeah, the static grass, I'm not too sure. It's Ball It Alive. Things are a bit too dark. We could go lighter, but all in all, it's a fantastic little scene. We're now going to have to move on to this area. Let's move this all out of the way. Up we go. Up we go. So this is what we were going to chat about this evening. Well, this is what I was thinking about starting this evening, but I thought we'll start the fresh one next week. We've got this area here, okay, which is going to be... Let's get the Hoover out. This area here is going to be a fishing village, okay? So we're going to have a chat in a minute. So obviously I don't want to model at the moment because this is where I'm going to try and get a bit of advice from you guys. The stream will come into like a low tide fishing area where we'll have pontoons here, right, with the odd fishing boat and whatnot. But this whole entire bit from that bit of wood all the way along here, this is where I've got lots of conflicted ideas, as in what type of wall should I put there. This is a 14-foot wall, I believe. Let me just remeasure. No, 13-foot wall. Okay. If we stick a person down in a fishing boat, pretend there's a fishing boat. Starting at the back, what? Well, start on the mountain. So there's the good. We kind of like need to make a wall in there for the fishing kind of thing. And it's a bit difficult in what to do. Now Dave suggests starting from the back of the layout. Now I know what he means, but what we've got here on this whole layout is lots of stuff sat on it, which is probably the worst thing ever, we know that. Is this corner here where the paint thingy is going to be buildings. So we'll be moving on to that in the next episodes, next series. Down at the back here comes to the coal mine, which is sitting on the mountain all up here. So that was going to be the last bit we worked on, was the hills going up there. And then the last bit of scene, this is all flat, you see, so we're just covering that with dirt. That's all that we're doing, is covering it down with dirt and then buildings on here. So this bit here where this is going to have a sort of dockyard building that comes out on a pier down here. So what I wanted to try and do was move on to the fishing village piers and wall. So then we move on to the mountain, and then boom, we start with the scratch build buildings, and then the buildings will start sitting in place and the layout will come together. That's the plan, sort of. So it was the wall. What sort of wall should I go for? So we kind of know the diameter is 14 foot high. 36, 22, nice. 36 is a record, no, not quite. 41 is a record so far. Mm. Okay, I kind of get what you mean. So start on the mountain. The mountain will be quite a quick week actually. So if we did the mountain, and then I can have this, we can ponder on this. We can have a think about the walls. A log wall. I thought about a log wall. Now my initial thought was, I don't want to put any more plaster Paris on. I'm going to use some sculpture mould for the mountain. Hello Ian, how you doing? Has anyone else dropped in that I've... It's a much more enhanced audience experience if you start at the front and work backwards, especially if there's buildings in the front. I bet you've got some 45 records. Are they LP, are they? A log wall. My kind of thought was going for the bottom 5 foot, kind of having, using these here as like a retaining wall. Have these built up for a retaining wall sort of thing, and with some, and then a brick up layer. I've seen the whole log all the way up. It's a very difficult one to think about. So photo suggestions and ideas, please throw them my way. But I think David might actually have a point. I'm going to flip the camera over now because we don't want to just keep looking at that. Let's look at something pretty, which means the camera isn't coming back to my face. We're going to have a look at the, there we are. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. There we go. Right, Stephen, hello, and Steve, hello. Anyone else pop in? Well, that's what I meant. Not necessarily brick, but stone. A bit like when I did my stone wall on the Engage town bit. That sort of stone I was thinking, with a wooden kind of like buffer something at the bottom. Because what will initially happen in this sort of small area is kind of like some pontoons and raised up area where a couple of smaller buildings like fishing huts would sit on. Okay, it's very difficult to explain what's in my head, but you guys have been with me a long time. You kind of understand that Tim's splurting out some rubbish that we might not quite understand, but if we stick with him for a little while, we'll start getting the picture, and then we'll realise what he's on about. So that's the sort of thing that will happen. But yeah, everything is running smoothly. This is fantastic, actually. I really like. Okay, I'm going to push myself up to 9 out of 10. Okay, you've twisted me arms, guys. I'll just keep looking at it. Tony White, how are you doing, good sir? Right, guys, okay then, let's go back onto the, for you guys, we have got our competition going, haven't we? That can possibly win this 00 gauge 08 in Network Southeast livery. Sorry, it's the only one I've got, so I can't change the livery. It's a DCC ready, I believe, from Bachmann. To enter the competition, obviously find my competition video to let me know on that video that you're entering the competition, and then all you really need to do is, out of the next, we've got 3 live streams after this one, over the last 5 live streams, last night, tonight, Tuesday night, Wednesday night and Thursday night, you have to comment on at least 2 of the live streams, at least. You can comment on all 5, it helps me, it's brilliant. Those 5 live streams and the competition video has no ads on it, so I'm not trying to get you to come back to watch the ads. I'm trying to give the regular supporters that are here almost every day more of a chance of winning the competition, rather than someone who's just turned up because they've seen a competition, subbed to the channel, said yes please, and their name gets pulled out. We are trying to do this so that you guys that have been following for a long time and that follow almost every other day sort of thing, you're the ones that are going to be winning it, rather that way. Sounds fair to me. So there's no ads on any of the live streams up until Saturday, and no ads on the competition video either, because it's not that sort of thing. And then on Saturday, I'll let you know who's the winner. Comment on only 2 of the live streams when they finish. Sometimes it might take an hour or 2, so pop back tomorrow or another day, and it'll be cool if you don't comment on the first 2, maybe keep a couple like in the middle of the week or something. That'd be great. But yeah, that's how you can get your hands on the 00 gauge class 08 if you win. But yeah, I'm going to flick back to me now and have a read at what has been said. Right, Tim said, use American or Sweden method of covering foam board from stone rocks. well in O scale. I'll have a look at that. Use the Merkel and Sweden method of carving foam board for stone. Okay. Okay, that's that. I've got several of that. That's this stuff. Peel off. I think you're saying peel off this stuff and then kind of like carve the stone in and place it against there. I believe that's where you're coming at. So that might work quite well, yeah. I like that. See you later, Rachel. Cheers for popping in. Why am I shouting? I don't know. Where's the lid for the glue as well? That's always good to put back on. There it is. I've said hello to Ian. That's cool. So yeah, I'm going to get my hair cut tomorrow. So when you see me on Tuesday, if you do pop in Tuesday, expect the baldness again. It's come to that time where it all gets shaved off once more. So all is cool. I did mention that tomorrow night there is no members live stream. We're going to do it next Monday. Still waiting for a few bits to turn up, so then we can move on to building bits and that. But yeah, the other thing is, now that there's more of you here, I asked a few earlier, and they're always cool and suggestions. Paste. There is a link here to a poll on my community tab. Seeing what you guys think, if after this big project here, I continue doing the modelling when I can. Obviously, if I'm not working, if I'm unwell, or any other plans of it, I want to keep doing my evening streams at 8:30. I enjoy doing them, and but you guys, as long as there's 2 or 3 people watching, I'll hit the go live button. But what I want to try and do is involve you. Now, when we went back to the end scale, we did that scratch build structure kit bash. I got loads of ideas from you guys, slapped it together, and bang, we did something. So what I'm thinking of is, obviously, when we start getting to the end of this project, I'll chuck out some suggestions. What should we move on to build, model? It doesn't have to be railway related, but it has to be model related. So it could build a Metcalfe building, build a small diorama, build a aircraft from Airfix or so. I've still never done one. So we can look into it honestly, but do let me know if there is interest for it, because if there is interest, I'll do it. If there isn't, if people think actually Tim is going to get boring, we don't want to see this sort of thing, then that's cool. But if I've got a strong following that wants to pop in every so often to see what projects we're doing, I'm happy to come back in an hour each evening just to do some modelling with you guys. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I'm going to finish off with the whole, if you want to help if you want to help a little bit extra towards the channel, do think about becoming a channel member. We are up to 24 members, which is awesome, and it actually goes a very, very long way. You may think, oh, 99p, but if 10 of you to 15 of you are sponsoring 99p per month, that's a packet of these figures that goes a long way to making a new diorama, or it's an extra white metal kit. It really does go a long way to helping the content for the channel get made, and there's lots of perks there for you as well, from members live streams to getting your name. Our top one at $12.99 a month, you get your name slapped on either a building or rolling stock on the main big O scale project, which will start getting some videos on that coming out soon. It's just a bigger project and lots of detail goes into that. But no, you cannot comment straight away. You sometimes have to leave camera, and you sometimes have to leave it a couple hours, pop back tomorrow or something to comment on this video for the competition. But yeah, guys, take care for now. As always, you guys are awesome. Don't forget, comment on a couple of streams to be entered, but you need to go back to the main video to let me know you have entered the competition, because that's when your name will get added to the list. I will then pop on the dates you write comments over the next few streams. See you on Tuesday. I'm not doing any lives tomorrow, so take care and have a good Monday.